If you're over 50, you've probably heard some version of this. Cut the carbs. Carbs make you fat. Your body can't handle them the way they used to. And if you really want to get lean after 50, go low carb. But what if you're also trying to train hard, stay strong, and hold on to or even build muscle? Do carbohydrates become something you should avoid just because you're getting older? I don't think the answer is that simple. Today, I'm going to show you what carbohydrates actually do, where they can help your training, and whether you really need them after 50. Now, before somebody heads straight to the comments, yes, you can build muscle eating low carb. People successfully use ketogenic diets. People successfully use carnivore diets. And I'm not telling you that you need to start eating carbohydrates if you're doing well without them. That's not the question I'm asking. The question is, if you're an active man over 50 who is resistance training, is there a good reason to eliminate carbohydrates simply because you are getting older? And if you can tolerate carbohydrates well, can they actually be useful? The answer to that is yes. So this isn't keto versus high carb. It's about understanding what carbohydrates actually do so you can decide how they fit in your nutrition. Earlier this week, I talked about why getting enough protein becomes increasingly important as we get older. Protein provides amino acids your body needs to repair and build muscle. Carbohydrates don't play the same role. So I'm not going to tell you eat more carbs and you'll build muscle. That's not what the evidence says. But there's another part to the equation. Because before your body can adapt to your training, you need to be able to train. And that's where carbohydrates can become useful. Your body stores carbs primarily as glycogen in your muscles and liver. And muscle glycogen can be used to help fuel harder training. Now, here's where I want you to be careful. If you're doing a relatively short resistance training session, you've eaten normally and your glycogen stores aren't depleted, eating additional carbohydrates isn't suddenly going to turn you into Superman. But as training volume goes up, as sessions become longer, if you're training more frequently, or if your dieting and calories are coming down, fuel availability can start to matter more. That's one of the reasons carbohydrates remain part of my nutrition plan at 56. I'm asking a lot of my body, and I want to be able to perform when I train. And then there's probably the biggest fear around carbohydrates. They're going to make me fat. Eating carbs doesn't automatically cause you to gain body fat. Accumulating body fat ultimately requires taking in more energy than your body is using over time. But that doesn't mean that all carbohydrate foods are equal. There's a big difference between building your diet around foods like fruit, potatoes and sweet potatoes, rice, oats, and whole grains, and getting most of your carbohydrates from processed foods that are incredibly easy to overeat. So I'm not telling you food quality doesn't matter. It absolutely does. I'm saying that blaming carbohydrates themselves for gaining body fat is too simplistic. If you're committed to training smarter and building a body that lasts, take a minute and subscribe. That's exactly what this channel is built for. I've also created a free guide called the AJUN 3Cs framework. It's built on the same principles I've used to become the best version of myself at 56. And it's the foundation behind everything that I teach here. The link is in the description below. This is where I don't want to give you some magic number, because your carbohydrate needs aren't determined simply by the fact that you're 50, 55, or 65. They're influenced much more by what you're asking your body to do. If you're relatively sedentary and trying to lose a significant amount of body fat, your carbohydrate intake may look very different from someone resistance training 4 or 5 days a week. And that person's intake may look different again from someone doing high volume training 6 days a week. Your overall calories matter. Your training matters. Your goals matter. Your health matters, and how you actually feel and perform with different amounts of carbohydrates matter. So instead of asking how many carbs should a 55-year-old man eat, I'd ask how much carbohydrate supports what I'm trying to do without pushing my total nutrition beyond what my goals require. That's a much better question. And personally, I eat carbs. I'm 56. I'm currently preparing for a natural bodybuilding competition. I'm resistance training 6 days a week, and carbs are still a part of my nutrition. The amount changes depending on where I am in my training and nutrition plan. When I'm trying to add muscle and calories are higher, I have room for more. When I'm dieting and calories come down, the amount changes. But I don't eliminate carbs simply because I'm over 50. They're a tool I use to help support what I'm asking my body to do. And that's the way I think about them. So should you still eat carbohydrates after 50? If you enjoy them and tolerate them well, and they fit your health and nutrition goals, there's no reason to automatically eliminate them simply because of your age. You don't need carbohydrates to magically switch on muscle growth, and you don't need to eat the amount that I eat. But if you're training hard, carbohydrates can be a useful source of fuel that helps support the work you're asking your body to perform. If you're thriving on low carb, keto, or carnivore, I'm not here to tell you to stop. But if you've eliminated carbohydrates because somebody convinced you that eating them after 50 would automatically make you fat, you may want to reconsider that assumption. Because the question isn't, are carbs good or bad? The better question is, do they help support the body, training, and life that you are trying to build? I'm BJ, reminding you that age is just a number. Keep punching.